thing that really still surprises me is the fact that we had update 1.15 for Black Ops 4 drop this past Monday rather than this upcoming Tuesday, when there's going to be a DLC map for zombies dropping with that, and the one-to-one tie-over of Element 115 with an update 1.15 seemed too perfect to pass up. But again, as we talked about here on the channel on Tuesday, that was something that as a result of bugs, it needed to be pushed out as soon as possible so that it could fix those things. And so therefore the marketing tie-in and promo with that unfortunately got a little bit disconnected. But interestingly enough, while it was only 150 megabytes in size, it actually gave us more access to things that we may have anticipated, such as image files in the game code that actually were a lot to process. And somehow I missed these whenever we were talking about Reaper and Spectre the other day, but there's actually a decent bit of content that was leaked here out of this update 1.15. So let's get into it. We last discussed the Reaper and Spectre leaks, but on top of that, we'll break down everything else as the time goes on in this video. But we also got information on 2 additional Mark II variants, 2 more MP uniforms, 2 seemingly returning weapon variants in the shop, 2 blackout characters, one of which may actually really surprise you, and along with that, 1 new bit of information for an upcoming Gauntlet and Zombies, and a few other various items that may hint towards larger supply crate bundles. All this was courtesy of data miner Josh Woo Cool, who we've referenced here on the channel beforehand from mainly his Reddit data dumps, but this time you can actually find it directly on his Twitter, and so therefore it's actually a way to follow him and what he's up to as well, and not just a Reddit post. So if you guys want to toss him a follow, link in the description below, go show him some love. But regardless, jumping into actually dissecting this stuff and letting you guys know more of what's actually about the content at hand, as with the same reasoning as for why we couldn't showcase any of the Reaper or Spectre leaks on screen with you guys before we jump into it. This still technically is classified as intellectual property of Activision and Treyarch until release, so I can't feature them here in the video, but again, the links will be down there in the description below over to Josh's Twitter. But as for the MP stuff, let's start out on that front. Firstly, probably the biggest part that people are interested in are the new weapon variants, the MKII or Mark II variants that offer 25% bonuses for each kill. These actually were associated with the Rampart and the Cordite. These came at the same time in which there was a third one, but we've actually seen that one introduced, that being the Swordfish MKII variant that we ended up seeing with the Replacer bundle. So all 3 of these were in the same patch at the same time. But again, these 2 are the only ones that were remaining. The Rampart is a sort of black and yellow, not necessarily gold, but a brighter and more vibrant yellow mixed with a matte black finish, so it looks pretty cool. And then the Cordite is a more psychedelic looking one with a color scheme of a black carbon fiber and then a blue and pink accent as well. Honestly, I think both look really sick. As for how these are introduced, there's of course no information that definitively gives us the answer on that one, but if I were to guess, it's probably going to be bundled with something as well, and especially, we'll get to in just a second, we'll see that we have a couple of more items in terms of blackout characters, so maybe these sort of replacer bundles are something that pop up a little bit more frequently, with a blackout character, a Mark II variant, and then maybe some tiers for $11 again, like we saw the replacer. But not to dive into too much of the argument of the microtransaction, just stating what is there, we end up seeing, of course, those MK2 weapons of the Cordite as well as the Rampart. Outside of that, we end up seeing that of this data mined information, we end up seeing 2 more uniforms, one being that Crash Tom Selleck Magnum PI look-alike character that we saw all the way back from the original promo, as well as the trailer itself for Grand Heist that we've yet to see. It's one of the only things actually from the original promo and marketing that we still have not seen just yet added into the game. And then we also end up seeing what looks like almost a drug dealer version of Crash as well. So a couple of skins for Crash up on deck that may very well again make its way over into the special orders or into the featured items in the shop. Personally, while I think these do look really cool, again, I'm not really on board with too many of the uniforms because, I mean, you only see the arms in a first-person perspective, but if I were to purchase one of them, I do think that the Tom Selleck Magnum PI look-alike might be one of the better skins that we've seen out of Grand Heist. Talking a little bit more shop contents, the one thing that kind of surprised me is that out of this data mined information, we saw shop cards for the MX9 Patriot, that variant from pre-orders, and then later on a little bundle towards the beginning of Black Ops 4's lifecycle. And then as well, we saw one for the SOG 9mm Great Lion variant from the Holiday Triple Play, which is kind of interesting to me because, I mean, both of these were already there and bundled with something else that you can end up paying a little more for than just buying the variant and the signature weapon outright. So I'm not sure how I feel about this just yet. It easily could be something that's just simply added into the My Deals category, but the cards for both of these are vertical, so realistically they could fit any number of the shop locations, i.e. the featured item, the special order, or the My Deals tab. Somehow I just feel like this is going to be taken into something that's a double dip into what was already available, and another another way to be a cash grab, unfortunately, which I'm not a fan of. So hopefully this turns out better than what I think initially, but those items are there in the game finals as well. Now, shifting gears ever so slightly and talking briefly about Blackout stuff, well, we have again 2 Blackout characters that were data mined here from this and have even some interesting audio quotes associated with them. The first one I'm sure you can guess is that Misty was data mined here from this. There were assets for her shop icon added into the game, so seemingly proving further the fact that we'll see her in the special orders for X amount of COD points. We didn't really have that constant reminder anymore like we did whenever Operation Grand Heist first launched, because she was removed from the character selections within Blackout, but now it seems like things are stirring up so that she'll be added in sometime relatively shortly. But the big surprise is one that Blackjack may be a Blackout character coming soon. We hadn't heard anything in regards to this previously, as we knew that we'd end up having the Replacer, David Mason still coming, Sarah Hall still coming at some point, and so on and so forth, but Blackjack was always theorized to maybe that specialist in MP, but he might be coming for Blackout as well. And again, Josh even pulled up some audio quotes from Blackjack and put them all together, and they very much so seem like they're from Blackout. I'll leave the link down there in the description below to that video as well if you guys want to check out the audio quotes, but it's certainly interesting that we might see Blackjack added in at some point, though I think that he probably would be more so added in with the next operation, if anything else. We'll talk about when I think all this kind of stuff will happen in just a little bit. Then covering the final pieces here with this, we see a quick little shift over into Zombies, in which there's a new gauntlet sticker for what may very well be Dead of the Night. And the final bits of information here that were data mined were new icons for reserve crate bundles. Now, this we don't exactly know what it will be because we have seen some bundles already grouped in, and I think there even was, with the Luck of the Irish one, some bundles that were added as well. But I can't recall the icons of any of those having as many supply drops that we see in these icons. So maybe pointing towards something like a big box bundle from Black Ops 3, but whatever it is, man, I hope that they offer at least some dupe protection at this point, because there's so many bundles, there's so many things that now push towards reserve content. I'm tired of getting dupe stickers. Now, all this stuff is cool, all this stuff is dandy, but when can we really see it? Because none of it really means anything until we can have the option as players to either earn it or be able to obtain it in some capacity. Truthfully, your guess is as good as mine, but I think that given the marketing for what is left on Grand Heist, we might be able to decipher when we can see some of these just off of educated guesses. We end up seeing that we have 2 more Mark II variants, and the only other one introduced was with a bundle, so it's quite possible that we see a couple of these things combined together and sold as one. But your items like your uniforms for Crash, I would imagine those are in the weekly updates for the shop. I don't see those bundled with anything. The weapon variants of the MX-9 Patriot as well as the SOG 9mm Great Lion, again, I'm hoping those are just daily deals added in so that as with other past items, you have the chance of getting it, but it doesn't necessarily force that upon you to try and take advantage of that air quote deal once again. So those realistically could be at any point, but I see things like Misty being added into the special orders, maybe as of this update 1.16 on Tuesday, though I think the special order refreshes on Wednesday, and if not, maybe then the special order after that one. I honestly think that Blackjack, if he comes anytime soon, I think that he might be added in like the Replacer in a sort of bundle, so you can maybe scratch off one of the additional Mark II variants with that one and see it as a bundle there. So my timeline of events maybe is that, again, one of the Crash uniforms added in as of this upcoming Tuesday, then maybe 2 weeks later to kind of spread it out and keep things going into Operation 4. 2 weeks later then from this upcoming Tuesday, the other Crash uniform being added in, Misty being either that next or the following special order after that, and then somewhere in the middle of all that, we end up seeing Blackjack added in with another Mark II weapon. We still, of course, have that mini content stream with the Mini 14 weapon, which actually, fun little note, that was actually data mined as well, that it has its own HUD icon within Zombies now at this point, so it's definitely going to be coming as of this update, it seems like. Maybe we end up seeing one of those Mark II weapons in that content stream to add some more value to that, and players then can grind out those 15 to 20 tiers with each of those, and so you have the Mini 14 plus a Mark II variant. And as for the final parts of those just supply drop bundles, those could realistically happen at any time. We'll probably see, again, emphasis on the air quotes here, larger content drops as of this upcoming Tuesday and then 2 weeks from Tuesday to lead us into Operation 4, so there's that little bit of window of content that doesn't make it too dry, but it probably will be a little dry because it will only be like shop updates and such. Regardless, there's still a decent amount of things that we have not seen just yet and that are also in the game files just waiting to go live depending on when they're supposed to. So that said, you add all this on top of what we're already guaranteed on Tuesday with the brand new Zombies map, and also the teasers we'll be getting throughout the week, maybe even hinting at even more. I mean, even today we just got a new perk teased for DLC 2 and Zombies along with that. We saw a perk added in with the introduction of Operation Grand Heist, so in that sense, we're getting another one on top of all of that as well. We saw that Bare Bones was officially teased for coming as of next week as well. We saw Blackout editions teased, and so on and so forth. So this update certainly is shaking up to be a larger one, or at least on this Tuesday and this upcoming week is supposedly going to be much larger, but even some of the residual content that pushes further out into the rest of Operation Grand Heist, there is some promising stuff here. So hopefully this update and a little further is good enough to please the masses, but I guess time will tell. That said, that's where we're going to wrap it up here. I wanted to let you guys know about all this new information and all this stuff that is rather interesting in the data mined game files. So again, check out Josh. His link is down there in the description below, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you guys looking forward to anything in particular? Are you looking forward to new MKII weapons? Are you looking forward to more Blackout characters? Whatever it may be, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But let's end out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 4, MP, Blackout, Zombies. We got you covered the best of updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. So if any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. I can live on both those. So if you guys want to check out a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But let's end out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.